this is Joanna and I'm back today with another card. And I'm starting out with my card front, and I have cut this piece slightly smaller than a standard size card. And I'm inking up this stencil from Tim Holtz using some Distress ink in Pumice stone. And I'm going for an ombre effect, so there is more ink at the bottom and then I fade it upwards. You will see what I mean here when I lift up the stencil, but it's not dark enough at the bottom, so I use some black Distress ink as well. And here I'm happy with the result. So I remove the stencil. And now it's time to ink up the edges, and I'm using Pumice stone to do that too. And I'm just applying a little more ink towards the bottom, and I try not to apply too much ink at the top, so it stays fairly light. And I'm also using some black Distress ink in one of the corners. And now it's time to adhere or to apply the adhesive, because I'm going to use some glitter. And I'm using the same stencil, and I'm slightly offsetting it. And as an adhesive, I'm using my favorite adhesive. It's Multi-Matte Medium. And I just squirt it out there on the stencil. And I use my palette knife to even it out. And I didn't clean my stencil, so I have black Distress ink also that's being smeared together with the Multi-Matte Medium, but that doesn't matter because the glitter is covering that up. So I'm using Pumice stone Distress glitter. And I just pour down the excess back to the jar. And then I'm using a scrap piece of paper to really press down the glitter on the card front while it's still wet. So that's perfect. Nothing will come off now. And I will put that aside to dry. And I'm using some Woodward dies from Paper Smooches. And I'm just using this small wire cutter to cut them apart. And this wire cutter is actually from when I was making jewelry. So now that I don't do that anymore, it's perfect that I have a new use for my small wire cutter. And here I have cut out the Woodward dies 2 times from white cardstock. And the second time I cut it, I left it in the cardstock. So then it's easier to color. And I color them with some Distress ink, Pumice stone, the same as I did when I inked up the background. And now it's time to adhere the die cuts together. And I'm adhering them slightly offset to mimic the background. And I'm using Multi-Matte Medium to adhere these together as well. And then I'm just using an acrylic block when I have adhered them, so they will dry flat. And here I'm just placing the different die cuts to see where I like them. And I think this placement is the best. So now it's time for me to adhere them. And I'm using Multi-Matte Medium again. And now they are all adhered. Perfect. I hope that you can see the shimmer on the video, because in real life it's really beautiful. And I have cut down a piece of black cardstock to go in between the card base and the card front. And I think that finish off the card perfectly. And I use my ATG gun to adhere them together. I think this is the tricky part, to get them perfectly centered. I always struggle with that. If you are interested in any of the products that I used on today's video, They are listed in the YouTube description or over at my blog, and that is at heartybyheart.com. And I hope you liked today's video and that you got inspired, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.